Hello. That's all right that you can't stay long. Don't worry too much. Thank you very much for coming. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. Thanks for hanging on for 1 minute just then. I was trying in vain to start with the camera on the other side of the table. But as I did it, I realised, oh, that's not going to work. That's going to feel quite strange. So I decided not to do it. Decided not to. Well, here we are. We've got lots of examples of the different kinds of pieces that I'm making. I start with a little sketch piece, and then I continue creating the main piece. I've got a couple that aren't even started yet, which is a little bit of a problem because today is my last session for myself. And hi, Lee Haim and Cheryl and Charity. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for coming. I know people are desperate for me to carry on with these tulips, so I think I might have a go at the tulips. We'll see what happens. Here's my lovely Holbein oil paints I've been working with. I had a burstage yesterday when I was working. I decided to tidy up them up at the bottoms, and I accidentally went and burst the green one. Does that make me a real oil painter now? Is that what happens? Hi Claire. Hi Carol, nice to see you. Thank you all very, very much for turning up. This is the final painting session. I understand if many of you can't stay for very long, but this is the final one I'm doing live on camera. After today, I'm going to continue painting myself for, not my body, but myself. I'm going to keep painting for another 6 hours. I'm going to get my palette ready. So I use some foil, wrap up my old Heygo sign for this, as I'll show you just here. Wrap up the old Heygo sign. Like this. And that makes me a nice little palette to use. And I've got a few pieces that are under construction that I might be able to finish a couple of them today. So let's have a little sneaky look at those. I'll show you what I've got here. I've got one not even started, 3 barely started, and a bunch that are under construction. Little alpaca just over here under construction. And these clogs under construction. You can see the difference here of my my plan and my creation. We'll see how that goes. I've got all my tools around me, my lovely brushes. I put foil over them overnight so that it's not working as a kind of partially toxic infuser in my house. We don't really need that throughout the night. Or I personally don't really need that throughout the night, I don't think. Here's some pieces that are barely touched on, so I'll be slaving away today, making those happen. How is everybody? What have you been up to? How are you doing? Let me know. I'm interested. And we'll see what we can create today. So, in this series, I've been becoming an oil painter. This means I've not done oil painting before. I have come to it for this season. So I've only been oil painting for a month, trying to make a whole exhibition. I sadly was sick for 5 weeks, so that made it pretty hard. This is going to have a waterfall crashing down over it, is my plan. So we'll see what comes of that. Just there. Got Winchester Cathedral sneaking into the picture just here. I'm liking this one. You shopped the garage sales today. Ooh, what did you get? Let me know. And here's the piece I started yesterday. Quite happy with it, actually. I wasn't at first. Here's Fujisan coming into view. I was really not happy with it at first, but I'm happier and happier the longer I look at it. And I finally finished the butterfly. What do you think? Do you like it? I really like it. Look, here's the little detail on the butterfly coming into scene. I'm super happy with it. In fact, I could go crazy painting loads more butterflies. I've tried to get a couple of like critters, a couple of people, a couple of all sorts, a lot of nature, a couple of sunsets, some architecture coming into some of these as well. You know, getting a nice spattering of all kinds of things. Oh, I love that, Carol. I love getting, I am getting it right. Right, you are, yeah, you are Carol. I love getting games, video games and board games at things like garage sales. That's awesome. Oh, thanks, Lahim, that you're saying that you're doing well and that my pictures look good. Thank you. The butterfly is lovely, isn't it? Super cute. Hi, Gregory. Don't expect to stay awake for long either, Kendall. I hope you do, though, and don't spend too long playing games. Hey! Hey. Too long. I've been playing games for about an hour a day. And that's an hour a day that is just for me, not teaching English, not sitting in front of a live stream, just for me. And I've been doing yoga for 30 minutes a day. So I'm very happy. I've been trying to get me back into my day. I'm very proud of myself. I will play Duolingo though. That's got to be done. A little bit of Duolingo. All right, I've got a reference picture here. Ooh, that's not going to give that away, is it? No. Okay, I'm going to password. I also finished the picture of the Queen yesterday. I finished her. I'm happy with her. And I've got one final picture I want to create on this one. But the final picture is really blurry. This is in York. It doesn't really convey York exactly, but it is very nostalgic for me in the UK. So I'd like to have that as well. Here is the little Netherlands picture I'm going to work on first thing, I think. So let's have a look at that. Get my linseed oil activated. Pop my little Netherlands picture up on the old stand, and get some tulip colours. Can you see the Queen? Okay, I'll all right, let's go outside. You coming? I'm gonna poke you down on the ground so you don't see everywhere I'm living. Can you see this? Are they too bright? Here's the Queen. Here's the beach. They're drying in the sunshine because it's bright, sunny sun shining on my balcony. Here we've got Ukraine. Super bright. I can't really see what I'm looking at right now. Ukraine, and we've got Highdown Gardens in the UK near Worthing. Here we've got in Memphis, and we've got in New York. We've got in South Africa. And here's in Banff. But yeah, here's the Queen. Do you like it? Obviously it's like twinkling in the sunshine right now because of the brightness of the sun. I'm going to put that mosquito net over. Okay, there you go. 1 second. I could show you a couple of other pieces too. Come on, come round to my house. There's a couple of other pieces just up there doing their version of drying up high. A couple have fallen down. And I get to look at them every day, which I really like. So there we go. You can see my little artist house. All my little cuties over there. Some letters and things. This one is a lovely little letter from a girl called Rebecca. This is the person that has sent me the most. This one here is from Steph, who sent me the most parcels while I've been away. Some people really get it, the living away from your friends and family. And I've, well, this one in particular has tried to look after me a little bit while I've been away. So there you go. There's a little look at my house. Here's my bed. This is how close I am to my bed, everyone, and my stack of everything. My stack of cute toys. That's it. This is where I've got a projector that can go here. That's why there's nothing on that wall, ominously. There you go. You've had a whole house tour just like that. This is the whole space I live in. That's everything. Finished. Finito. That's all I've got. So, if you ever get any grand ideas like, oh, Kendall's got loads of money. She's traveling around everywhere, showing us loads of videos. Well, no, I haven't done that. I also haven't had my nails done or anything because I'm trying to save up money to get to the UK. So thank you very much to anyone that has, thank you so much to everyone who has put a little bit of money in that GoFundMe for my, that's just to cover my plane trip to the UK. The plane trip alone is a lot of money. So thank you so much, everybody that's put something into that. And those of you that have put into my buy me a coffee as well. And the little lovely thank you angel. I don't know if you want to be named in this regard, but the one that also covered my medical bill recently. Thank you so much. You are beyond appreciated. Thank you very much. If you don't mind being named, I'll name you. And if you'd prefer not to be, I'll keep you under wraps for now. Well, I'll keep you under wraps full stop if you don't want to be named. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. I do just live in one room, little space. I live by myself. My partner doesn't help me pay for things. I pay for everything alone. And I know a lot of people do that. But, you know, it's difficult in its ways. But we keep going. We keep going where we can. Right, let's get some of these nice tulipy colours on the go. So if you want to find me on those things, it's buymeacoffees /MissKendalJames. And you can go on linktr.ee /MissKendalJames to see a link to all of the things. All of the things. And if you become an annual member of my Kenda Packer thingy, or if you have accumulated at least a year, then you can also get a piece of art from me. You get a custom piece made for you. I don't know about my new series. Maybe from my new series you can have a piece. But definitely from my old series of work, you could also select from that if you wanted to. So thank you very much. Lovely Kenda Packer crew members. You rock. Let's have a little look. Thank you so much for so many of you for being here. Do I have a kitchen and a bathroom? Yes, kind of. I don't really have a kitchen, Carol. Would you like to see? Shall I do a bit of painting for a moment and then I'll let you see my my hallway. I've just got one room and a hallway, lovely. Yeah, cozy space and cheery with my art, Cheryl. That's right. Thank you. Right, let's have a look. I want to try and get some little tulips in everywhere. But first of all, I think I should pop, there's a little flag in the background, so maybe I should pop a little flag back there. The way I did the sky in this one, I did it with a palette knife. I did it with a palette knife, and so it's got a couple of like odd little tones in there. I think I'm going to leave the odd little tones. Some people might not like them, but I like them. I like how they remind me of the moment I painted them. Is that really corny to say? But they remind me of that moment. They remind me of that moment. Here's the little palette I'm putting together, just in case it was just off shot, wasn't it? A little bit off shot. Gregory said cozy, but alternatively freezing and boiling. A little bit, yeah. It is boiling in the summer. We're in the sweet spot of time right now where it's perfectly toasty, like not too much of anything. And then it does become freezing, particularly in that hallway space, because there's no way to heat the hallway space. There is a way if I bought an extra thing, but there's not really anywhere to put the heater if I did that. So that's a bit of a pain. But that's fine. As I always say, we can't all have everything. I'm lucky enough to have a nice little home to live in. I realise some people don't, do they? And there's all kinds of horrible wars and things happening around the world at the moment. So, yeah, just feeling totally grateful to have anywhere to live, to be fair. As I always do, feel totally grateful to have anywhere to work. I've worked since I was 16 years old, but I've also paid rent. If you're like, oh, that should mean you've got enough money for that. No, it doesn't. I don't drive. I don't have a car. I haven't ever learnt to drive, and I haven't ever gotten a car because I've paid rent since I was 18 years old. I moved out of my house and I've paid a full set of grown-up rent since that very moment. So there's another reason why I guess I haven't had, like, my brothers lived at home for a very long time. My brothers now have a house, each have a house. But I live in Japan. So if anybody is new to me, hello, my name is MissKendalJames and I live in Japan, which is my childhood dream. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's pretty cool. Here I am chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, living in Japan like an anime fool. Right, I'm going to try and see if I can get a neat... Nope. Trying to acquire a super neat flagpole here. No. No, can't get a super neat one. But squeeze the paint off and see if I can tidy up the one that I did get. Yeah, that's not so bad. Not so bad. Maybe if I can make up a kind of brown colour, I can fill in the building a little bit to make it seem a bit thinner. Let's have a look. Paintbrush in my mouth right now, so if I sound strange, that's why. Hello, Violetta. Hi, Lethargy. Nice to see you guys. So I'm doing a 2-hour session today for the final session. Some of them have been an hour and a half, some of them have been 2 hours. I hope you've all had a nice time. Have you had a favourite painting session? If you have come along to a couple, have you had a favourite one? People like Lethargy, Carol, Clint, you've been along to quite a lot, haven't you? And if anyone falls asleep and drifts off, I understand. It's all right. Don't you worry. I know it's a little late for some of you. My viewers are divided generally between America and the UK, but I've also got Canada and Australia. Now the Australians usually can watch. I think Lauren, are you here, Lauren? Usually for the Australians it's all right. It depends what kind of day job you have. If you have a day job or not. My day job happens at night time, so that's one of the things that messes up when I can present tours and things to you. I'm going to start doing some tours outside next week, so I hope you'll come outside with me and have a nice time out there. I'm going to take you to see the hydrangeas. It's hydrangea season, so gather your blues. It's hydrangea season. If anyone remembers that little ditty from last year. Don't I sound well again, by the way? I was so unwell. And yet I was still presenting these tours to you. These live streams. I was still presenting it because the show's got to go on, right? I've still got to do the exhibition and I've still got to make pieces. So I kept presenting these live streams. If you catch up with the first few, I've made a playlist now so you can see all 14 of these in one go. But if you catch up with those, you'll think, oh, poor Kendall, who was trying to present these with just low energy. I even did a couple of live streams outside. I've had a couple of people message me saying, I wish you'd do outside ones again. I'm like, excuse me, I'm sick and also I'm busy. I'm sick and busy. And I did a few outside, didn't get any tips. And also I really didn't have the energy to talk to people nonstop. Even if I sounded fine, it was a little bit difficult. So thank you very much for everyone who's been standing by me, everyone who hasn't cancelled their Kenda Packer subscription. Everyone who's been trusting that this girl's gonna bring it, I appreciate you. Thank you very, 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 very much. This girl's gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring it by sticking my artwork directly into the paint. And one of these days, I'm gonna learn my lesson, and I'm gonna stop putting that in a position where that'll happen. But the day is not today. There you go. Hydrangeas, great! They're adorable. I call them bouquets of butterflies. Hey there, random. Hello, Trevor. Hi, Kendall and all. Trevor from Heygo. Hi, random design Trevor. Hi, Violetta. Oh, you get a second one. You got a second one, Violetta. Okay, let's get this started in here. Let's make a peachy yellow color. A peachy pink color. Peachy pink. Should I try and get some little windows in that design at the back first? Yeah, 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can put a couple of tiny little window-like nods. So a couple of markings on that building in the background just there, just to try and make it look a little bit more realistic, not just a total block. Don't be a block. Peachy pink. Pop this over here. Or should I pop it on the other side? There's little things when I came to Japan and I started teaching English. I didn't realise we're so English. Like saying pop it to put something. Pop this over here, pop this over there. I didn't realise how blooming British I was. I am. I hope I get accepted back into my country. Peach! I did it. Cute. Drop of the old linseed. I'm so happy I'm not allergic to these. I thought I was really badly allergic to all of my oil paints because it was kind of hurting to use them. It was affecting my eyes, it was affecting my throat. Everything was broken. It was horrible. But it turns out I was just real sick. Thank goodness I was just very sick, can we say. So how's everyone been doing since Heygo? What are your favourite things to do now? Have you changed your hobbies? Are you catching up with guides in different ways? Who's your favourite? What's been going on? Hit me up. Let me know. Let the others know. Right, I was thinking of using a palette knife for this, but I'm going to try loading up the paintbrush with a lot of colour. I'm going to try first loading up the paintbrush. So I've got this peach colour going in the background. Maybe you can't see too well. I'll move it closer to you in a little while. And then please enjoy listening to the trains just outside, if you so choose. We got some green happening just in the background over there. Mix a tiny drop of linseed in with this bit of green. Try and keep it looking, turn it upside down. Try and keep it looking natural in there, having little bits of green poking through. Oh, smart move, Carol and Charity there. They say, I'm the favourite. What do you guys want? What do you want? Come on, just tell me. Just kidding. Or in fact, go ahead. If there's something you want from me, let me know. If I can orchestrate that in the future, I'll do my best. I'm pretty sure you want live streams from the UK and then from Dubai, don't you? Yeah. Ashfaq is excited to have a Kendall visitor. He told me to bring the piece of his that I've created. I think he thought I was just making these pieces just for fun. I am, but I also need to make a living, so I'm trying to sell them, of course. So he said, bring it. And I said, well, if it doesn't sell, I'll bring it, but I'm hoping it sells. That butterfly piece. It's got a chance to sell to real people. So, real people here in Japan, as well as you real people around the world. Oh, I think I'll do extra leaves at the end for that little section. Right. A couple more peachy ones. You're the only one I still support monthly, but I have done some things with Leslie in Egypt, Alex in Australia, and Stefan in the Netherlands on YouTube. Oh, thank you. I have 2 sponsorships. That is one of them is Kendall and the other is Paul. Oh, yeah, Paul! Charity, Paul is my friend now. When Heygo closed down, so I never got to see Paul's tours, but I love Scottish accents very, very much. And Gregory, I love our Irish accents as well. I love them. I love them. And I love Welsh ones. I just love the accents around the UK. I love the variety in the accents, like the stark difference in them all. Anyway, I heard that when Heygo was closing, I heard through the grapevine on my tours that Paul was not doing very well. Of course he'd be fine. But he was feeling really low. He didn't know what was going to happen next. He had loads of big dreams and loads of big plans. Me too, man. I was only going to the UK because I felt like I could afford it because of Heygo. So thank you so much for supporting myself and for supporting Paul as well. Anyway, I heard he wasn't doing well. I've never spoken to him because I'm never awake and should be going on tours at the time that he'd be running tours. I should be going to sleep, not starting up a tour. I know Gregory knows the pain of that. He should probably be going to sleep right now, but he's decided to start up this tour with me. Anyway, I heard he wasn't doing very well, and I sent him a voice note out of the blue, out of nowhere, and I said, look, mate, you rock. You seriously rock. Don't you worry. You are going to be fine. You don't know me, but I know you're going to be fine. I know how much everybody loves you, and you are going to be looked after, and you are going to be inspired, and new things will come your way, and you're going to be fine. And now we get voicemails from each other all the time. And it feels, when I get a voice note from him, it feels like I've got my own hype man, because he's like, here's Kendall in the red corner. It's brilliant. I love it. I love it so much. So That's one of the good things that came from Heygo ending. I mean, I'm not saying like loads of great things happened. Like I make a lot less money now. I'm practicing self-care more now, which is great, but I was forced into it by being sick for so long. I wanted to be practice self-care more for quite a while, but kept finding new ways to do tours and things. I was planning on only doing tours inside for May and April anyway, May in particular, because of this exhibition. So some people might think I've stopped going outside because of Heygo finishing, but that's not true. I already had planned to do things this way. But also, sadly, a friend on Heygo became a troll, which really didn't help with my when I was sick. I didn't really need someone trolling me as well. And the person still references me on other people's YouTube lives and things. It's a real big shame. It's someone that I really looked after because I felt like they were being bullied on Heygo, and I still believe that they were being bullied. I still believe they were, but the person is too good at bullying themselves to have not been perfectly capable of doing that all along. It's such a shame, such a shame. And I'd love to still be their friend, and I hope they're okay. But the person can't seem to let go of me. And another young girl guide as well. The person just seems to keep on digging. They're blocked on everything, of course. It does mean they can still watch. They can still watch my videos, annoyingly. And they can still see my posts and things because they used to sneak around on Heygo doing all kinds of things like that. And if you guys have worked out who that is based on my comments there, then so be it, I say. I love his humour too. Yeah, so down to earth. You made the good things you got out of it. Yeah, what a silly Billy indeed, Gregory. What a silly Billy. And I felt really that I can't talk to people about it, which is a bully's plan, isn't it? I felt like I can't talk to people about it because they might tell him and he'll think that he's affected me, but he's not even of concern to me anymore. So I guess I lost other people I thought were friends as well at the same time. But shogunai, we say in Japan, it can't be helped. I also kind of hate that phrase because it's really like lazily dismissive. And in Japan, Japanese people really don't want any kind of confrontation. So they say, shogunai, like, just let it go. Just like, it's all done. It's nothing we could do. Just leave it. Which is both great, but also not really helpful in so many ways. But a good lesson in its own right. About 10 years ago, I taught myself the phrase, just let it go. I taught it to myself as a mantra. And it's what allowed me to do things like build a good relationship with my mum and just not get stressed out about, I don't know, partners or friends over time. And now some people think that some people think that I push people away. I absolutely don't, but I just have a way of recognizing now what is going to be healthy for me in my life and what isn't. And that's fine. I think I've heard people recently saying, some are here for a season, some are here for a reason. And that's all right. I don't intend to have so many things go on in my life, but I put myself in a lot of situations. So if you put yourself in a lot of situations, a lot of things will happen, I think. So it's not like I'm particularly unlucky or lucky. Oh, that's all right. How do I pronounce that name? Lihim. Because I'm practicing Japanese as well, I get really confused when I see L's and R's these days. Lihilm. Lihilm. If you could help me, that would be great. Hi, Lauren. Nice to see you, lovely. These are palette knives, lovely. So I did a little, there's a 2-minute video. There's also a recapped live stream that you can catch up on. That was my very first one. It was the pre-version of this series, number 1. And that'll tell you all the different tools I'm using. It'll work through the canvases and everything. It's a right life skill you got. Oh, Lisa H. Great. So I don't... Leh. Helm. Okay, Lisa H. Finally, I can see it's you. Thank you, lovely. Thank you. Let me think. I'm looking for Laurie, and a couple of others. I don't have your addresses. So there's a few people that are part of the Kinderpacker Club. I don't have your addresses, and I would really love your address. So if you are part of the Kinderpacker Club and you've never specifically emailed me your address, then please chuck it my way. Next month you'll all be getting your first proper official special Kinderpacker seasonal cards. They'll be coming your way. You know I've been sick and busy, but you're not forgotten. So of about 20 of you lovely Kinderpacker crew members, what can I say? Maybe 13 of you, 12 or 13 of you, I've got your addresses. And then others I do not. Right, I'm just down here. I'm trying to make a little bit of an orange. That's true. Clients pay good money to learn about healthy boundaries. Good job, you. I've emailed you, but wasn't sure if you received it. Lisa, I think you're one of the ones I've got. And when you said Lisa H, I realized I think you are one of the ones I've got. It is important to set those boundaries. It is. And to not do things just because other people want them to happen. That troll sent me loads of horrible messages saying, what, are you just going to run away? But the troll had already said goodbye to me. The troll had said, I think this is done, this is over. And I said, okay, I respect your decision. And then I got loads of messages later from the troll saying, what, are you just going to run away just like that? And I'm like, I'm not running away. I'm choosing peace, mate. I'm choosing peace. And I really hope you'll be well. And I will miss you. But just look after yourself, okay? Like, be happy. Me and Paul also send each other little bits of songs from the 90s and stuff. We as in we sing them to each other. Find friends that you can sing songs from the 90s with. That's how to have a good life. So I will tell you that in my life I have had counselling. So I've learned things myself, but I have actually I've learned them from professionals as well. I've been fortunate and unfortunate enough to have not ever paid for it. In the UK, as long as you go on waiting lists and things, or as long as your need is great, you can get assistance. I know in other countries it can be quite difficult. But if I'll tell you honestly, because these things are important to share, Paul would do the same, right? Me and Paul, we're all about that. But when I was 11 was the first time I saw a counsellor. My brothers too saw a counsellor because we had all kinds of social workers and things coming to our house to check that we were healthy little spritlings. And we kind of were, but we had a lot of problems too. But when I was 11, I had my first ever counselling. When I was at university and I was 20, I had my my second ever counselling. And then coming towards the end of a very long 7-year relationship where I'd become a carer for this person that I'd loved, who had accidentally turned to alcohol in an unhealthy way and just developed very low self-esteem. But this person was and wasn't looking after themselves. At a certain point, if you're desperate for your person to look after themselves, but they're not, you've got to focus extra on looking after yourself. You've got to find a way to do that for yourself. So my person wasn't looking after themselves. So when I was 28, I too had counselling then. And actually, I would say that when I was 28, that's the first time that the counselling related to something interesting that had grown in me since I was 7. The thing that grew inside me since the age of 7 was an I say irrational. Nothing's irrational really. If you've got something, I always used to say irrational, but the counsellor taught me it's not irrational. I developed a deep fear of the physical appearance of fish, basically. Not because of anything that happened with a fish. I didn't wake up with a fish in my bed, though I would scream every window out of the walls if that happened. Do not do that to me, ever. I mean, I'd probably be more okay with it these days, but that doesn't mean you should do it to me. Don't put fish in my bed. I'm going to tell you a funny story in a minute, though. But basically, since the age of 7, my dad was taken away from the home because he got very sick. I'm not going to give you guys a whole bogged down story of everything, but bit by bit you might learn little bits about my life. My daddy was taken out of my home, not for any want to, but he just was very sick for a load of other reasons, which I'll happily tell you privately if you sent me a message and you were interested. Although I might not do that this week. Thank you very much to everybody who has kindly been very patient with my emails. Thank you so much to those of you that have sent emails and then not been too worried about me responding in the space of a week or 10 days rather than immediately. I've usually read the email right away, or at least part of it, and then I get back to it as an actual reply when I've got the time. Anyway, something inside me decided to create a sense of control in my life when I was a little girl, at the age of 6 or 7 or so. And I did that by deciding, for some reason, that suddenly fish were absolutely grotesque. So I suddenly went from being the kind of little kid who would happily eat fish and chips in the UK to absolutely refusing anything to do with fish and chips. I wouldn't even eat fish fingers anymore. I wouldn't eat fish cakes, so even potato-based kind of things. And I also decided that I hated my pet goldfish. But I didn't declare that to anybody. I just started bossily making my little brothers clean my goldfish instead of me. So I think I was about 10 or 11 by that point. But, I even was fine until I wasn't. So it's a funny little thing. But basically I decided that the way their eyes looked, the way their mouths looked, the way their bodies lay like immovable but dense. You know what? And I probably, thinking about that now, describing it in that way, I don't remember a visual cue that related to that, but I expect it was from seeing my dad in a hospital bed and seeing my dad not okay. Maybe I connected what to me looked like kind of dead features. He's not dead, by the way. We did think he was, well, I did think he was for about 16 years, but he's not dead. And I'm looking forward to going to see him in a care home. He's rediscovered since 2017, which is a lovely old story. He's had a bunch of strokes and things, so his long-term memory is better than his short-term memory. And he's witty as anything and tells saucy jokes and things. So if I get my humour from anybody, it's from my dad. So finally, it's clear who I'm from. I get my creativity from my mum, if that's of any curiosity to anybody. But yeah, basically, ever since that day, right up into being about 29, I think, I've really thought of fish as being totally grotesque. Like I can scare myself from just talking about them. But I've really tried to get myself, I've taken myself to aquariums as kind of my own personal exposure therapy. I'd prefer not to walk through a fish market, but I can walk through a fish market and things like that. It's the bits in supermarkets where they're being sold at the fishmongers area that is that's most just grotesque to me. I don't like seeing their dead bodies, but I also hate seeing them alive. I really hate seeing them alive. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, but it's fine. So, hello everybody, welcome. You've accidentally walked in on me sharing more of myself than I've ever shared. So, I hope that's been of interest to some of you. That's your reward for those of you that have stumbled into the final painting tour here. And for those of you that have followed me for a while, there's your little extra connection to this Kendall in Japan. I hope that brought you some intrigue and joy, although maybe some sadness. Maybe you don't like hearing about a sad upbringing of someone you like. So there we go. There we go. There we have it. Let's try and make a little pinky colour over here. You're always welcome to ask me questions about things like that. I'm not too private about it, but of course, on incredibly well social media, there are things on Instagram, so you're welcome to do your own deep dive and check that out if you like. But I'm not gonna obviously give a load of dates and out on YouTube. And some things. Oh, excuse the train. It's not my bottom. That would be quite an impressive bottom if it made that big sound there. Not the cat sound I just made by accident. But yeah, obviously not going to give out all my details here. So I can put these tulips wherever I like, to be fair, because it's my art and I'll put tulips where I want to. But I did call them daffodils, so that's a plus. I was calling them daffodils non-stop the other day. I really like this big fiery orange one down here. I wonder if I can make this one even bigger. Yeah. So that is why I grew up with a single mummy. But I'm very lucky. Me and my brothers and my mum were very lucky we had a roof over our heads because my late grandpa, all of my grandparents have passed away since I've been in Japan. Just they all passed away within the space of 2 years, which is very sad. But my late grandpa, even though he never got to see us for 20 years, he's the reason my brothers and I and my mum had a roof over our house. He sorted that out. Otherwise we would have been in a council flat. We were on the budget of a council flat, but we at very least had a home. So endlessly grateful for that. But all these things in my life, I had to realize myself. I had to work them all out myself because my grandparents, well, my grandparents, I guess, were just of an age where you just don't really share much. But everybody in my family, all of the adults in my family, they never shared anything with the children. They believed children were children and they shouldn't hear and know and think or say things. But we got treated like children. Even still now, I'm 33. We get treated like children. Not by my mummy anymore, but by anyone else in my family. Generally treated like little babies still. I guess until I have my own babies, I'll be treated that way, which is a bit of a pain in the bum. But I can appreciate the affectionate place it comes from, even though it's not very healthy, in my humble opinion. Okay, is that enough daffs? There will be no fish paintings. Actually, Lisa, there will be some fish paintings in the future. I'm actually thinking of doing a series of I might call it Overcoming Fears, but I was thinking of looking at loads of fish and creating lots of paintings of them. But also, interestingly, I think illustrated fish are very cute. I like illustrated fish. Funazushi paintings. I'm like, but then that's got no body. I do get a bit creeped out by the dissected way of seeing fish things on plates. And so many people that are vegetarian they say things to me like, oh, but I bet you still eat meat. They don't understand that my issue is not, is it a dead body? Would I eat the dead body? My issue is some grotesque association I've created with, in particular, fish. It's a weird one for sure. But like I say, I've been to lots of aquariums and things now. I'm much better. I had a pet turtle. Other things underwater are fine. I like axolotls, seahorses, turtles. I like them. And some fish I can see are cute. But I've got a partner who'll eat anything with its head on. He's a bit gross. That's what happens if you get a Japanese partner. It's pretty rare to meet ones that don't like fish or sushi and things. I'll eat sushi. But actually, the reason I don't like sushi very much is because it's too big for my mouth. I don't like it. I don't like how, because you're not meant to bite sushi in half. In fact, I was at an event recently and they told me it's okay to bite it in half. They said you're not meant to bite it in half because it's rude. You're meant to put the whole thing in your mouth. And I'm like, well, that's huge. I don't want. Well, I prefer to have the British, knife and fork, cut a little piece that I think's manageable. I'll eat it super fast, but I just want a little piece. So that's difficult. Let's have a look. Don't worry, we've now cancelled the alternative to the milk tray guy. We were going to send round, and he won't be abseiling through the window to deliver fish to your bedside while you're in the bath. Gregory, I'm guessing that is in relation to some kind of advertisement on TV. But generally, I grew up without TV. I've only ever had TV for video games. Occasionally in my life, we have had TV, and if I go to a friend's house, I'm pretty obsessively looking at the TV because I love marketing so much. So I love seeing the ways in which they're making adverts and things these days. So if that is a commercial, do send me the link on Facebook so that I can check that out. Now I'm just going to try and add some depth to in between the leaves here. I'm going to do that with darkness first, and then I'm going to do that with some highlighted light bits as well. But I want it to look a little bit more real in the gaps behind the trees. So I've also gone quite thickly with the paint in this area, as you saw me do the other day. So there's actually all kinds of different textures going on here. But I'm just going to add a few details in and around, and then we're going to fit the clogs on top and finish up the ground. And give it a nice little chance to dry in the sunshine over the day. Oh, the sunshine's gone anyway. Sunshine's gone. Is it polite to quickly choke? It depends what your face looks like while you're quickly choking. If you also look like you're going to cry or be sick, I think quickly choking is probably not polite. I went to a meal the other day. Maybe it was like 4 weeks ago now. I went to a lovely meal and there was all kinds of fish and things. I ate quite a lot of it, but I was sick as well, so I really wasn't in the mood for eating loads of new stuff. I just wanted food from home, but I couldn't get my food from home. And I wasn't well enough to cook for myself, which was a bit pants. But there were all kinds of things on the plate, on the dishes in front of me, and I ate lots of them, all kinds of fish and stuff. But one thing I did actually spit out as discreetly as I could. I tried chewing it. I was gonna try and swallow it, but I couldn't swallow it. And I was really surprised to find that it was a piece of chicken. I mean, I'm not surprised to find it's a piece of chicken in Japan because I'm not that keen on the chicken in Japan. If you're not keen on the gristly, fatty bits of meat, they love that in Japan. So that's a little bit difficult if that's not really your bag. So basically, it had all the skin and gristly fattiness, and I was trying to chew it, but I cannot handle, unless I know it's a sweet, so it's going to break down eventually. I can't handle gelatinous textures in my mouth. I just can't do it. Anyway, I didn't make a comment about it to anybody. I just did my very best to sneak that little bit into the one bit of tissue that I found. I'm a little ashamed to say it. I don't want to. I don't want to share that, but I also don't want to accidentally throw up on the table. I don't throw up very easily, but if I'm, as in I rarely throw up, very very rarely. If I feel like I might throw up, then that is a really big problem because it's that rare in me. I throw up about once every 2 or 3 years, and it's usually because I was a bit stupid with alcohol. And the stupid with alcohol is forgetting to eat during the day, or forgetting to eat much, or forgetting while you're drinking that you didn't eat much, I should say. Because you just have too much fun. Yeah, but generally I'm never sick with alcohol. I've got a high tolerance, which bothers some people, but I also eat a lot and I drink a lot of water, so that usually means I'm pretty safe when I'm drinking. Let's see what we've got over here. Trying to get lots of different little textures in here. So it's the sweet spot in time, actually, where I can do something like oil painting in my house because it's not too hot outside. There's actually a tiny bit of a breeze, which is great. But it's going to get so hot soon that we won't even open our windows. So this is my air my apartment time. There's a sweet spot in autumn and another in spring now, where we can in Japan have our apartment doors open and things. But after that, it just gets way, 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 way too hot. So we have the air conditioning on instead. And for a long time, because I'm a British person, we don't have air conditioning. I was not using such a thing. I was being a bit silly. And I was finding myself having like these horrible fever-filled dreams, and not being able to sleep. And my American friends were like, you need to turn your air conditioner on at night, or you need to turn it on for a few hours before you wake up in the morning when it starts to get really hot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. I do. I should have. I would. I will. I shall. I'll do it now. And so now I strategically set the aircon. So now I'm an aircon user. Can't believe it. Okay, I think the tulips are looking nice. Do you like them? What's the first thing you would like to eat again when you're home in the UK? Well, first of all, I'm going to be in London. And if people are around London and they want to meet me on that Tuesday I arrive, then I'll be passing around some details for that. So I guess I'll get some pub grub. I've been amusingly toying with the idea of having a Boots meal deal, but I hear they cost an arm and a leg now, so I might have to rethink that. But I expect everything's going to cost an arm and a leg, as we say in the UK. But the first thing I want when I go back to my mum's place, I've got to go see my mummy first because she's my mummy. But also, I've got a lot of things to sort out. All of my stuff has been, since last year, moved over to my mum's house, and I need to unburden her of that. So I'm going to be so boringly busy for days looking through all my old stuff and sending it to charity shops, maybe getting some bits on eBay, seeing what I can do. which is a bit boring. What I want is a super whole grain with all the seeds and everything. Super whole grain sandwich with butter and smoked back bacon is what I am ordering first. They don't really do, in fact, they just don't do super whole grain breads over here with all the seeds and nuts and bits of stuff. And I realise those things might cost a fortune in the UK now, but that's what I want. And at some point, it's got to be roast dinners. Going to get myself a steak and ale pie at some point. Roast dinners. Don't need to worry so much about things like cottage pie or, I don't know, lasagna, because I can make that myself over here. Baked with beans and cheese. I can sometimes make that over here, but yeah. These are the things. These are the things I want in my life, my British life. Right, 1 second. I'm going to try and add a bit of a stem here. Okay, this is not going as neatly as I'd hoped. Just want to get some looking like they've got a little stem underneath them. Okay. Stem. Sorry, this one up here is not looking like I want it to look. Maybe I'll use the palette knife on it. Gonna try. What about you guys? Have you been to the UK? Do you live in the UK? What are your favourite things to eat? I'm gonna get some Galaxy chocolate. I'm gonna eat a wagon wheel. I'm gonna eat some mini cheddars. I'm gonna eat some licorice all sorts. Yeah, this one is not doing what I would need it to do. I might blend it into the background to teach it a lesson. Yeah, I'm going to blend it into the background. Okay, I think it's more okay now. Right, I'm going to stop touching that and try and make the clogs. Let's see, I want the clogs to be kind of thick, so I might be using the palette knife a lot more for that. You sound like one of the kids in Ice Age volunteering. Sometimes I throw up. Ice Age volunteering, what's that? What are the cherry blossom trees looking like now? Do you mean the piece I made, Alpha Dog? There are no cherry blossom trees in Japan right now. Well, there are, but they're green. They're not blooming cherry blossoms. I realise some people think they are here all year, which is a very sweet thought, but they're not. They stop blooming. There are some that continue blooming late. And Delena up in North Japan, Hokkaido, she might have some left over, but maybe not. Thanks, Lisa. Says the tulips are looking good. I'm pretty sure, Lisa, you're one of the ones I've got the address of, so don't worry about that. Just to reiterate. Cloggies. Right, I'm going to use the brush actually. I'm going to use a slightly different brush because I think the palette knife won't be very accurate. Start off with a brush and see where we go. Palette knife on top after, I think. My mum has apple blossom and apricot blossom, maybe peach blossom, in her garden. And when my mum's grandma, passed away, we got a tree put in the park. The tree is a ginkgo tree, Japanese tree. Isn't that lovely? You can give to this charity that will plant trees. Yeah, I really did want the I want the clogs to be much thicker, so I think I will use a palette knife. Just going to try and cover over the edges a little bit. I want to try and make sure I've got a nice solid edge. Excuse my concentration for a second. A second being, I don't know, a minute, a couple of minutes. My lovely partner, fiance, has been learning English from me like a child learns English, which is the best way. But he's saying, that's not a second, that's not a minute, you mean 5 minutes, you mean 10 minutes. Great, yeah, well done, Rio. I didn't mean a second when I said a second. I meant a couple of minutes, please. So funny. I want to get some clean thickness about this. So try use the palette knife in here. It's called a palette knife. And the palette knife is how I got the texture in the tulips to start with. And you can get some nice edges using it. So I need a darker area just inside. Try and scoop a bit out. Darker yellowy brown color just inside. It's super fun to mix up the paints using the palette knife. I will say that. I love it. I will also say I'm spending a lot longer on this piece than I intended to, which is a bit of a problem, seeing as I'm on a race against time with myself, which is no good. Right. I think I use this a little bit first. You guys have gone very quiet. Are you okay? You're welcome to ask questions if you like. Unless you want me to babble life story at you even more. Okay, I'm liking this. If I go, if I use the paintbrush in here, I can make it look like the shoe is actually three-dimensional because the paint will lay three-dimensionally. So that's pretty cool. Let's see if I can fit in there. When my mum first arrived in the US, she thought see you later meant see you later. She actually prepared dinner for her neighbours thinking they would drop by when they said see you later. Oh, bless her. Yeah. My partner says, because in Japanese, later is atode, which is also, it means after. So when he, for example, if we're out in public and he's gonna go and use the public bathroom, he'll say after, whereas we say in a bit or later, catch you in a minute. We might say in a bit. So I've been trying to teach him in a bit, not after. Yay! It's looking good in the shoe. Okay, some of that's going to get covered over again. That's fine. Maybe that needs to scoop around a little bit more. Okay. Let's try and squeeze some bright yellow in there. And then a little bit of the dark yellow coming almost straight down. I hope I've not got this in a strange angle. Sorry if it's a bit of a strange angle right now. It's like being a surgeon. Oh, so much detail. Strange Kendall. What's oil painting like? Well, it's like being a surgeon. I would know so well, wouldn't I? Wouldn't I know that so well? It is cute. He's very cute. He's also not very cute at all. That partner of mine. Right. Let's get some of these big colours in. So I'm trying to let it have a kind of wooden texture. Trying to give it that shiny texture. Like real clogs. Just focusing a second. It's not so straight there anymore. 1 minute. Oh no, I've lost the colour I wanted in there. I'm going to try not to touch it too much because then the things underneath will shine through. I don't want that. Okay, this is fine for now. Yeah, too many bits I've got to try not to touch now, so I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Please bear with me. I'm going to try and blend that in neatly. Actually, it's quite nice looking painterly, I think. First time I watched a hockey game with my mum, she didn't know the word for goalie, so she said to me, "The door guard is playing well." It was rather cute of her to say that. Oh, the door guard. That is cute. But you know, like even native speakers, we make up all our own words all the time. I'm a bit concerned the things my partner copies from me that are just like made up cutesy words I'm saying. I'm like, great, maybe don't repeat that. It's just a cutesy word. Right. I know people were itching to see what I do with the alpaca piece. So I'm trying to get this clog done so I can get right onto that alpaca. Okay, I think the clog is looking okay. I quite like it being a bit painterly. Painterly is nice, I think, if you can see it's been painted in its own way. Okay, now I need to get the next one in. Nice and bright yellow in first, back here. Sorry, a lot of concentrating right now, so excuse the silence. Oh, the phone has given up on me. So, of the pieces that you've seen, guys, what are your favourite pieces so far? Do you like any of them particularly? Or are they all kind of meh? Oh, Bit of a boo-boo in there. Gotta fix the boo-boo now. Okay, boo-boo, fine. Shoe is coming in at this angle. Okay. The clog. Japan has wooden shoes too. They're called geta. Maybe you can see when a lady is wearing, or when a gentleman is wearing a kimono, you can see a hint of a wooden shoe just underneath the tippy toe bottom of their kimono, called a geta. Does your country have wooden shoes? Oh, Lisa says, I like the Mount Fuji painting. It reminds me of tours I went on with Heygo. The hot air balloon and the Banff mountain paintings are my favourite. Yeah, me too, Clint. Me too. I'm looking at the hot air balloon now. I love the hot air balloon one. I hope Japanese people like them. I mean, I'm sure they will. I hope they like them and want to buy them. Is what I mean. That's what I mean. Now, I must say that when the exhibition goes live for you to watch, I will not be putting those videos up for you to be able to watch after. So there will be 7 showings. You'll be able to watch one of 7 showings, but you will not be able to catch up with them later. That will be determined at a later date at my own discretion. I will either pick the best one or 2, and I will have that one go up. I will and I will definitely be doing this, I'll be making my own video, which will be a higher quality. So if you want to watch it live, you're gonna have to watch it live, if you know what I'm saying. So there are 2 dates up already. There will be 7 in total. Make sure you follow me on buymeacoffee.com/MissKendalJames. You'll get all the direct links emailed to you, so it'll be nice and simple. You can also check out Buy Me a Coffee to see the previous posts and links to other videos and things that I recommend. So consider giving that a go too. You don't have to donate to do that. You also can donate if you like. That's your discretion. And if you go on my YouTube channel, I think you can find links to my linktr.ee/MissKendalJames. And you can also find a link to my GoFundMe and other stuff as well. So please consider doing that. Oh my goodness, this piece is taking way, way, way longer than I thought it was going to take. Oh, shame. I say shame because I've got so many other things I need to work on. And only a finite amount of time. Oh well, what can I say? It surprises me a little how long some of these take. This shoe, oh, this shoe looks not right. Okay, wait, I think it's fine. I really want it to look three-dimensional. Literally as well as painterly. Okay, I think that's all right. Can I move some of this, move some of that yellow over there? I need it to be really dark underneath the shoe down here. That's accidentally green. Use your finger to scribble in some of the colour there. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to change the shape of that. Sorry, you've just been watching clogs the whole time. I hope you don't mind. I'll still endeavouring to get onto the alpaca thingy after, but sorry, you might not see the alpaca itself come into light. Mixing up a brownish colour, just off shot. I have to go really quiet when I do these edges, sorry. They're quite difficult and I want them to be very defined. I want them to be very defined and I want them to be thick, which is why I'm using this palette knife for it. If you touch it too much, the colours start to mix in. As you might be able to see happening a little bit just there. The smoothness is very important so that it looks wooden. Which also means that the direction of the paint is quite important. And here I've got to try and create the shape around the back as it flows into the shape of the shoe. Up here. Without making it look messy. Okay, almost there. Okay, not too bad, I think. Not too bad. A couple of little details are going to touch up and hope it doesn't add too much of a brush stroke. Ooh. I'm going to put some dark blue into it just along here. Maybe it's better if I push up against it. You can see the thickness of the oil paints in there. You can see the way the palette knife has touched it. But I'm going to push up into the bottom here to push the other colours into a thicker outline of a shoe, of the clog there. And I know it's not exactly the same colour as in the picture, but I'm okay with that. There's plenty of time in my life to become a perfectionist oil painter. For now, my goal is make an interesting piece, have fun making it. As you know, it's my usual goal in life. Do something interesting, have a nice time doing it. Looking in the camera is actually really useful for me. So to look into the gimbal screen to see what it looks like to you guys is actually a really useful way of seeing what's looking good and what isn't looking good. Because when we see things smaller, we can see if the details are adding up. I'd like to make that more smooth. Okay. Dare I touch this bit up here? Okay. Forgiven for doing that. I did it. Fine. A little tricky back here. See, surgery. I know what's the problem is back here. For starters, I'm going to start getting painterly strokes in here, which is not what I want. I really, 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 really want to maintain the palette knife effect. But I don't want it to, I don't want to keep touching it with the palette knife. I want it to be smooth. So I have to go very, very careful. Oh no. Okay, and then the issue back here is pushing this bit back into the position, making this bit longer, trying to get that yellow to push right back. I think I need more yellow back here. And maybe orange. It's really surprisingly difficult. Of course, it would be more easy if I left myself enough time to let all the layers dry. Then we wouldn't have to faff around in this particular way. Trying to go just in the detailed bit. Okay, I think I'm going to call myself satisfied enough there. Yeah, I think I like it. I think I like it. Oh, it's a bit too strong. No, I'm looking in your picture and it's a bit too strong. This bit is a bit too strong. Let's have a look again. Maybe. Okay. Some things are easier when there is no gimbal in front of you because you can hold it in a different way. But I've got to hold it in a very particular way. So this piece has taken about 4 hours almost, which is a lot longer than I wanted it to. And I thought it was going to be one of the easiest ones. Oh well. Okay, so I'm going to use my finger to scribble some paint around, maybe my finger and the brush. We need a couple of little details in and around where the flowers are sneaking out of the ground. I'm going to say sneaking. I'm going to go in pretty roughly and then use my finger to smudge it after. I need some more brown paint. So guys, technically the stream is going to end in 20 minutes. How are you guys feeling? Are you hoping to have me for longer? If you are, just to be honest, and I'll see what I can do. And if you're satisfied with your care, then let me know. And some more blue as well, particular type of blue. The ultramarine is my favorite one. It seems to make the darker tones that I really like. I'm to hang around as long as you're fine with still streaming. Oh, lovely. All right, I'll stay streaming for the alpaca a little bit, as long as I'm not finding it difficult to stream, to do the detail with the stream running. We'll see. As long as I'm not, that's fine. I won't stay wildly longer, I don't think. Who knows? I don't think so. And Corinne, I'll send you 2 close-ups so you can determine if you want the sunrise or the sunset for these those Canadian colourful pieces. Right, we've got some random leafy bits. I wonder if I can add the random leafy bits and have it still look natural. And some random strawy bits. And then some tiny smudges of colour here and there. Using every little crevice of my finger, try and get some cool shapes in. And I want it even darker up in there, I think. Okay. I often say that when I'm obviously going to keep painting. But when when I'm feeling very close to the end. Okay, for real, for real, for real. No, a little bit back here. Little bit. Yeah, tiny bit. My goodness, this one really took a lot longer than I thought. A lot longer than I thought. Oh well, it's had 2 live streams for it. Lucky Stefan. So this was from a Heygo postcard in the Netherlands with Stefan. I actually only went on 1 or 2 of his tours, but only one had good signal. So there we go. I did it, and I love it, to be fair. So maybe it was worth it. I can see some bits I would perfect, but I think I would cause myself a bigger problem if I perfected it. So I'm going to leave it as it is. In the picture that you've got, it looks just fine. I would think I would make that thinner around here if I had the chance, but good. It's loaded with texture. Can you see the textures? So every point of it is, I think, quite interesting, if you ask me. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys want to see alpacas next, so I think I should grace you with some alpacas. Here's the guy. I need some tree-like bits and this alpaca coming into action. Yeah, okay, I'm hanging around, just in case anyone's interested. Probably do another 30 minutes or so. That's almost 15, 20 minutes longer than planned. If that's to anyone's pleasure, making this the final and the longest one. Longest one I've done for this particular painting series. So thank you very much for sticking around. Those of you that can, will, want to, etc. Little details in the ground here. Not too many, but a couple here and there. Kind of straw-like details again. The alpaca is going to be the last thing I do. I want to try and make it even more three-dimensional and fluffy. So we're going to do the leaves next. Looks 3D, great. What looks 3D? The clogs, I hope so. Here's my efforts from the last painting. I'm going to give that the old flipperoo. This is the kind of thing I'm like, Leo, don't copy flipperoo. Flipperoo is not a thing. Can you imagine a Japanese man saying, ah, yes, the old flipperoo? Can you imagine that? What do you think? Leo going to the UK and saying, ah, yes, just did the old flipperoo, changed my clothes. So all of the little kids that I teach, they keep saying okie dokie. So when I start a lesson, I go, okie dokie, everyone get your books out. So now the little kids are going, okie dokie, okie dokie. I think it's quite funny thinking that one thing they're going to take with them into their life is okie dokie. And there's something else I was going to say. Oh, they also say, oh my goodness. Because I'm trying not to say, oh my God. Even though Japanese people say, oh my God, all the time. Honestly. They super do. They say it in this really kind of strange way as well. They say, oh my God, oh my God. A little bit of light shining through on this little clay oven. Got high hopes for this alpaca piece coming out okay. We'll see. The alpaca's going to make or break it, isn't it? If it breaks it, I'll quit here. Quit while I'm a version of a head. So I've got lots of texture in here around the oven, so I can easily make it look like there's real bricks. Which is pretty cool, I think. Well, I think it's looking like real bricks. I'll go with that for now. Scribble a little bit of a darker shade in there. There we go. A little highlight on some of the other bricks in the background. Not too much, just some here and there. Oh, accidentally got it on the tree. Well, now the tree is a whole different colour. Oh well. Sometimes you just gotta laugh, because otherwise you'll cry. Right, come on tree, fix yourself. I didn't say make yourself that colour. Okay, tree is back in order. Right, leaves. How am I going to do these leaves? Am I going to feather fluff them all over the place? Am I going to do too many, too few? Who knows? Let's see. It's not my last painting. I've got loads. Oh, the last painting. Oh, thank you. Next thing you know, that will be Rio's new favourite saying. The old flipperoo. The old flipperoo. No, his favourite sayings are when I say really bad words, he's like, oh, and in the, well, what he thinks are really bad words. Like I told you last time, he thinks things like dummy and poopy are really bad words, which is just hilarious. Because they're not so bad, Mr. Poophead. But we use this messaging service called Line. It's what people in Japan use, Line. And you can make an announcement. So if someone writes something, you can announce what they wrote. You can make an announcement of your own thing as well, if you want to. So if I say, you big poopy bum bum, he says, he goes, oh, with the emojis, and then he makes an announcement. And I'm like, fine, but there are other things you could be announcing, like remembering when you said you'd meet me. Okay, I'm going to get some light leaves in the background, even using just bright yellow. I'm going to fluff them around and hope it looks good. And then I'm going to layer up some fluffs of other leaves. But I think I'm going to fluff them. So use my littlest brush and some white and yellow. And a bright green. fluff some leaves in. And then I'm going to want other leaves to be stronger on top. Now, don't forget, I'm the artist, so I got to change the composition as I liked. My prerogative. So I removed some alpacas and went for a main alpaca. Gotta have your main alpaca. Don't let your other alpacas know. You got your main alpaca on the go. Shh. I guess if I do it like this, the tree can look a bit more like it's in the background as well. I think I've probably made it look too strong, so I really need to make the alpaca stand out, because the tree is very strong. He loves saying okie dokie. Well, I found it really funny that a Voyager on Heygo noticed that I always say, let's get stuck in. So that's apparently something I like saying. Let's get stuck in. Come on, let's get stuck in. Gonna get stuck in with this lighter, brighter green. Feathery effect. Is it a good idea? I don't really know right now. I'm gonna keep going. I'm putting some linseed oil in to try and get it to flow more nicely. Don't really know what type of tree it is. It's in Peru. So I guess it's just got kind of these long banana-y little leaves all over it. The colours are echoing the grass, so that's nice at the very least. More linseed oil. Got to get this to flow, I think. Ah, yeah, there we go. The flow creates more defined leaves, but it's definitely painting like it's watercolour. Some of the leaves, I think I need to make them a little bit smaller, to be honest. I can't really tell from the picture. We know that Heygo postcards weren't necessarily the best quality going. Now I've still got so much work to do to prepare these pieces. I've got to sand down each of the edges. Sand down each of the edges and paint them gold. I'm also making this background for each of them that I'll have to glue them to. They're going to look quite different when they're finished. Is my idea. We'll see what happens when it comes down to it. We'll see. But I don't want to put these pieces just on the wall and then have them kind of look cool but a bit lost. You know, lost in the colour or the shape of the colour of the wall behind. Well, it is fun to paint these little leaflets. Sorry, not leaflets, but I said leaflets as if they were baby leaves. See? I just make up my own little bits. And I do it mostly when I'm comfortable. So Leo hears all kinds of strange things, or I almost go to say strange things and then I think better of it. Because he'll say, what is that? Now, I might get the hint of a branch here and there too. The tree, of course, has branches. They are very hard to see in the little picture I've got. Just hold the brush real close to the end if you're going to do branches. And you can get the knobbly effect. That's my branch creating technique. Hold it right close to the end. And what are you guys up to at the same time? Are you creating something at the same time? Are you watching as a kind of Zen meditation? Zen meditation to Bristolian girl in Japan. Doing boring housework. Oh, sorry, lovely. But at least your house will be so lovely after. It's nice to have a lovely house after doing housework. Right, I might add white, maybe some bright leaves on top. Will they stand out? I think they kind of need a shadow. I kind of need to make like a two-tone brush. Or maybe I could just go in and add a couple of shadows here and there after. Or maybe the shadows aren't so important. Okay. Tree has been treed. It's funny, isn't it? Whenever I say okay, it definitely means I've got about 30 more brush strokes left that I want to do. In this case, 50. Okay, right. Okay, there's just this one. There we go. Right, now, alpaca. Let's come into action. Alpaca dude. Right. We need Adorable ears is the first command of the day. Please note, adorable ears. Come on, cute ears. I'm resting now. I was watching during short breaks from the gardening. I can't do very much at a time right now because of the air pollution levels for the wildfire smoke. Are you in Canada? Sorry. Yeah, does have to be done, Lauren. I'm sorry. I hear there's. I haven't listened to the news yet, so I'll be doing that after this live stream. But I catch up on the World News podcast, BBC World News podcast. But I've seen the odd little picture. Maybe thanks to Heygo connections. I hope everybody is okay. Try and make some fluffy little ears down here. Now the ears have got a kind of halo of colour, which I don't know if I can make. Can I do it? Yeah. Oh, too much linseed oil. Fluffy halo of colour. Try and create that up there. Okay. Then more fluffy halo of colour. White colour. Fluffy halo around the outside. Fluffy halo of white. Fluffy halo. Oh, I'm just gonna get more white a second. Still this white without having green in it. Fluffy halo of white around the outside and then work in some other colours after. Fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. Fluffy. Fluffy, fluffy, fluff, 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 fluff. Fluffy, fluff, fluff. Wee, I'm excited to see this guy in its full. Make plenty of space for the fluffies. Hee 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 hee. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be so cute. Wow, can you see how cute it's gonna be? Sorry if everyone's being peaceful and I just wow at you, but eek. I love alpacas, by the way. That's why my sponsorship program is called the Kendapaka Crew Members. Thank you very much, Kendapaka Crew Members. Should probably print you off a version of this card, shouldn't I? mixing a little bit of linseed oil into this, spreading it around. Okay, we've got some soft fluff happening down here. We got the neck. Neck fluff. Activate. Neck fluff activated. Leg fluff activated. Need to find a way to make it look hazy fluffy. Fluff, 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 fluff. If fluff, 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 fluff. If fluff, 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 fluff. Fluffy, 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 fluff. Yay! Oh my gosh, it's gonna look so cute. This is excitement overload. Fluff packer. Okay, next, internal details. Fluffy halo completed. Now, bits of yellow added into the fluff. Try not to cover over the face. Activate yellow fluff. Where's the most yellow fluff? This brownish yellow fluff there. Okay, yellow fluff back here. It's really working, it's really fluffing. I lost some people because of the fluffy. In Alberta, where there are an incredible amount of wildfires this year, you know, I just don't associate Canada with wildfires. I had no idea. I had no idea. I feel like I've been listening to the news a lot more in the last year and a half. I never used to listen to it actually at all. Never used to at all. I think being part of Heygo made me feel like I should know what on earth is going on with the people around the world, which is only a good thing, as sad as it might be. So I've paid a lot more attention now. And I find it very interesting, but of course very sad, concerning, heartbreaking. But that's something I didn't know. Being from the UK, I don't experience things like that, and I just hadn't registered. I'm naive to be saying such a thing, but I'm not ashamed to admit my not knowing. It's important to learn and grow. I guess if it's something that normally happens, they manage it quite well, but it must still be devastating. And if not for people, then for wildlife too, right? My first conscious awareness of wildfires was Australia 2.5 years ago. Like, I'd known of them before, but I know I'm Japan, so it's still really far away. But I feel closer to Australia now because, again, of voyagers on Heygo, but also demographically. Demographically? Wait, is that the word? I feel physically closer. Demographically? That's not the word. I don't think. Geographically. Maybe that's the word. I knew I could do it. Look at that. Alpacas are easier than clogs. Okay, going to keep the stream going a little bit longer because I think the alpaca will be finished. I think you guys want to be the first to see the alpaca's little face. But in the UK, you could be in Germany or another country in such a short time. If in Queensland, you'd be driving for 18 hours and still be in Queensland, you probably drive around the entire circumference of the UK in 18 hours. It's not even a joke. It blows my mind. I've come to live in Japan. Japan is 55% bigger than the UK. I thought I was coming to somewhere the same size. I feel, honestly, I was so naive. I'm so happy to have travelled and gained some worldly insights finally. Can't go around being that naive. But I guess we all just know things based on what we've learned growing up and what kind of lifestyle we have, what kind of family upbringing we had, what kind of money you had, what kind of mental health you have. Everything contributes to how much you do or don't know, right? So just a product of my upbringing, and there's many great qualities I have, so I'll do my best to learn where I spot gaps in my education. And other than that, try and be calm and respectful to all who need it. Okay. This is coming out well, I think. Dare I say. Sounds like loads of trains outside. It's not. Just one. Look at this guy. Really fluffed into action. Okay, need more white again, and then the little face is going to crop in there. Oh, I'm really happy with this little fluffy. What do you guys think? Do you like it? I think it's a alpaca. Oh, Clint, yeah, I can see the swing. One of your favourites. Clint's my alpaca angel. Oh, I've already got more white. It's over here. Psh. Silly me. All right, let's get this little guy's cute little face. Someone earlier said they support me and Paul. I can really see that being a combo. People like to support, and on behalf of us both, I thank you ever so much. We're hoping we can meet in the UK. That'd be quite something. I might have to do the X-rated version of a live stream where we effing blind for our pleasure. See what I can do. Trying to do a little detail on the face over here. I need to get a little bit extra colours in there too. First, just do the angles around this side of the face. Oh, and now white in the middle. Sorry if I'm at a bit of a weird angle right now. I'm really happy to have a few pieces that have got animals in them. I've got one more planned with animals in that hasn't been started. So cute. Also a little difficult. Right. Ugh. Let's bear with me in the angle, sorry. Little cutie. Let's have a look. So close. Use a brush. Okay, I need a little bit grey around there. It's going to be make or break when the face comes in, when the eyes go in. Luckily, I've got years of experience of making cute stuff. So I know just what to do. So we'll see. We'll see what I can do in a second. First of all, some more white fluffies. Oh, my neck hurts so much. Let's have lunch and yoga after this, I think. Oh no, I was going to try and make it fluffy with the brush, but I don't think I can do that. I think it needs to be made fluffy with the palette knife to get that special edges. Maybe don't need to overwork that. All right, make, oh. Make a darkest browny, blacky blue for the eyes. Touch of red. A bit more blue. Too purple. Okay. Moment of truth coming in. A couple of little tiny eyes. Let's see what you guys are saying. Oh! Rio has stepped into the room to be disgusting. He wants to eat this alpaca. I think Rio was thinking, why isn't Kendall talking to me? Oh, she's live streaming. Now he comes in and drops a meat emoji. Horrible. Horrible Japanese boy. Hi guys, sorry, it reconnected. It doesn't normally do that. Well, it does occasionally, but not too often. I'm going in some strange angles right now, but just bear with me a minute. So, to make the alpaca alive, I need to add white dots to the eyes. But also the alpaca's got some really cute eyelashes. I don't know if I can get those in. But I do need some little grey marks around here. A little difficult, but we're getting there. Yay! I don't want it to accidentally have a human mouth. That's going to be weird, isn't it? Bear with me. And to erase the effects of human mouth that have accidentally appeared. There we go, and some twinkly little dots in the eyes. Let me see if I can do this successfully. Yes. One. so difficult. I'm in such a bad position right now as I try to do this. Really not good for my body. Okay, we're in luck. One more tiny dot if I can make it happen. Good, good, good. And something to bring even more darkness just here. Almost. Okay, tiny nostril dots. Okay, looking cute. Looking cute. And a few fluffs of this. Few realistic darker fluffs at the top, and I think the cutie is ready. Let me see. Yeah. Only problem is I went and put my finger in something over here, so I just need to tidy up the blue with a touch of light blue. Let me see if I can tidy up the blue. The sky actually had a special texture that I don't want to interfere with, which is a bit of a problem. Okay, I think that's all right. And just over here, where I've literally stuck my fingers in it. Buff, buff, buff. Okay, I think alpaca is finished. Just make sure these fluffy bits are the right fluffy. So thank you very much for watching me finish up 2 more pieces. I'll be very, very busy today trying to get the others finished. I'm going to have a break tonight to sing a bit of karaoke with my friends. Maybe see some fireflies. And then I might have to continue a little bit tomorrow, and then that's got to be it because the oil paints won't dry after then. So do check me out on linktr.ee/MissKendalJames if you want to see the other things that I make. Go and follow me on buymeacoffee.com/MissKendalJames if you want to get their newsletters and things that have all of the latest information about myself and about the upcoming live streams and recommended other things. And Corinne, I think I'll send you your 2 pictures directly after this is finished, okay? So I'll go do that in a second. All right, everybody, going to show you the alpaca close-up. Here. Ta-da! Look into my eyes. Look into my cutie eyes. What a cutie. Yay! Oh, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Sure. Fluffy activation successful. Super cute. Thank you. I'll give you a little reminder of the other one. Ugh. Did you hear my hip just go? Here's the other. Ta-da! Today, alpacas and clogs. Please feel free to pop pictures of these online, credit me, and tell people that my show is coming. The show is coming. Thank you so much, everybody. You've been a rock star delight. I look forward to seeing if anyone snuck me a little tip and catching you guys in the future too. Thank you so much. Finding that palette knives are friends. Yes, it is. Yes, it is Kendall mint cake and no funazushi. Children are affectionately known as sausages, and conversing about poop is rather entertaining. Isn't it just, Clint? And you are all an absolute delight. Thank you so much for following me on this adventure. I am pretty busy next week because I've got to do all the boring details of like sorting, printing, organizing, all kinds of things for the exhibition. But don't worry, you will be rewarded with lots of lovely outside and inside tours coming over the next month. So please look forward to that. Thank you so much, everybody. This is all part of a playlist of 14 episodes, so you're welcome to check out the whole playlist and see what else is going on with the becoming an oil painter. Do you think I've done it? Did I become an oil painter? Have I done it? I think so, because I'm already planning what to paint after this show is finished. I'm an oil painter. Thank you so much, cherubs. See you later. Sorry if you get kicked out. I don't have 1,000 followers yet, so I think you might get kicked out of this until I've got 1,000 followers. Please give me a share on your personal profiles. Let your friends and family know. You know, send them a link to just an odd video or something and see what happens. Bye, sausages.